is a special edition of See the World, the road to the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
Hi everyone, I'm Erin Mayovsky. Welcome to See the World, Road to the 2026 FIFA World Cup special. In the next half hour, we're talking all things soccer with a look ahead for fans and what to expect throughout the region come June 2026. We are breaking it all down for you, from security to tickets to the pitch. First up, we're checking in on preparations at SeaTac International Airport, and that's where we find Perry Cooper, Senior Manager of Media Relations for the Port of Seattle. He's been very busy keeping track of all the upgrades, including new terminals, airport security, and safety. Perry Cooper is an expert when it comes to SeaTac Airport. He's been on the job nearly 20 years, so when big events happen, his team is prepared.
Well, we're really excited about it because it's what our goal has been for years, which is we really are the welcoming mat for Seattle and the entire Pacific Northwest region when people come to visit. Whether it's you coming in on a cruise ship to go to Alaska, or you're coming here to Seattle for a conference, business, pleasure, whatever, if it's family, we want to be that place that people go, oh, I'm here. I recognize some of the Northwest feel, the tones, the pictures, the colors that are in the airport, and be relaxed once you get here. So it's that customer service experience that we really want to portray.
SeaTac is coming off a record year, handling nearly 53 million passengers. SEA is one of the busiest airports in the country, averaging more than 61,000 people daily, and it's only going to get busier, especially in 2026, with the airport one of the gateways to the World Cup.
We are expecting, actually the whole region is expecting about 750,000 people to come into the region just within a 6-week period. What that's going to mean for us here at the airport, we're still a little bit unsure. Really, it's going to be based upon what teams and what countries are going to end up coming to this area to play. But we are looking ahead and trying to prepare and figuring out what can we do from really a customer service experience standpoint to make this a welcoming space.
And when it comes to security, it's more than one team that will keep you safe at SeaTac.
Security is something that we don't want them to have to think about, but just be assured that it is there. A lot of times you're not going to see it because it's kind of behind the scenes, whether they are undercover or folks may be dressed in a different attire, but they're all around us. And quite honestly, in an airport, you've got all the different agencies that are focused on law enforcement that are here at the airport, and they're paying extra attention when we have a large event like the World Cup.
Now, how about the outside? SeaTac has you covered whether you're coming or going with a huge roadway expansion.
This is what you see when you first drive into the airport now. We're trying to improve the roadways to add more lanes to make it easier for people not only to get into the garage, but also less disruption for people who are trying to pick up passengers on the lower drives. So what this is going to do is we've already created a retaining wall on the west side. There's new roadway lanes up to the upper drive, the departures drive. We're going to create a new middle lane, and then a lower lane will be rose up from below, and that'll create one lane that'll go directly into the garage, one lane that'll be just for our shuttle drop-offs, and then it'll provide specific lanes for travelers to go down to the lower drive.
Over the past few years, SEA continues building comfort for passengers, adding new cuisine and restaurants, lounges and hangout spaces to make everybody feel welcome. So Perry, where are we now? What's going on out here?
This is the edge of the Sea Concourse expansion project. So we're adding 4 new floors right above the Sea Concourse that'll include 13 new dining and retail spaces. There's going to be a lounge on the top. There's going to be places to sit, hang out, listen to music, and actually also a really cool first for us. We're going to have a space where you can look out on the airfield and be an av geek and look at planes.
Oh, that's so cool. And this is amazing for travelers, specifically coming for World Cup, a lot going on, and they can just hang out wherever they want, right? They can always find a spot in the airport.
So potentially those people are traveling from, say, like British Columbia or Vancouver to come into Seattle for the World Cup would end up going through this new space here that we call the SEA Gateway. It's a partnership that we've done with Alaska to actually improve the experience from drop-off to the gate. So this is really an exciting part for us that we're going to see just before World Cup opens. This will be completely finished, and will also include a new checkpoint as well too that'll add more lanes for people to get through and make your wait time even less.
And And visually, it's so beautiful with the woodwork, but what about this big, huge piece of artwork that's in motion?
Art has been a piece that we've focused on here in Seattle for quite a number of years. And these big projects are actually adding to that over and over again. You're going to see it up here, not only in this 60-foot digital wall, also downstairs through bank claim. We've got additional art that's there as well, too. And even in different spaces in between the kick counters here, there's additional art. So art is very important for the airport.
And when it comes to World Cup predictions, we just had to get Perry's take.
Well, you've got to root for the hometown team, right? Of course. So being from Washington, from Spokane, we're going to invite, hopefully get as many Sounders as we can on the team, right? Somewhere down the line. Predict U.S. all the way.
Now, SeaTac has a lot going on to make sure passengers have a smooth experience at the airport. The Emerald City expects an estimated 750,000 people to visit the region, with many of those fans passing through SEA. And don't forget, if you plan on catching some matches north of the border at Vancouver's BC Place, you'll want to make sure you have your passport or enhanced ID up to date and available for crossing between the U.S. and Canada by car. By plane, you'll need a current passport to travel between countries. You can visit fox13seattle.com for more details. Well, SeaTac isn't the only place getting set for World Cup. We are also expecting thousands of travelers on our roads and city streets, and that's why officials are making sure our area's infrastructure can handle the influx of people taking in World Cup right here in the Emerald City.
Every city, the World Cup cities are all looking at their transportation needs right now. We're pretty advanced in the Pacific Northwest, being able to, we got the investment into sound transit so folks can get north and south and east and west. We've got great transit systems. We've got Amtrak going north and south. But there are some cities around the country that are really scrambling, especially on the transit side. You don't want hundreds of thousands of people coming into the United States and only driving. In fact, they don't expect to drive. They come from cities that have great transit systems, and so they're going to be looking for that bus ride, that subway ride, that link rail ride like they do at home.
And if you want to avoid public transportation, FIFA Seattle has created a walkable Unity Loop to spotlight the city's downtown core. Here's Peter Tomazawa with FIFA Seattle.
We have a beautiful stadium, with Lumen Field down on the south end of the city. Then on the north end, we have the Seattle Center. And then to the west, we have the waterfront, which will be a brand new, beautiful waterfront park. And then we'll go through the middle to Westlake, to Pioneer Square, up to the CID and back. So we have this kind of loop, basically, where people will really get a chance to see our city in its entirety. It's really going to be great.
All right, we are just getting started here. Stick around. We are chatting one-on-one with former Sounders great Brad Evans about Seattle's World Cup vibe, plus a beautiful artistic transformation happening downtown Seattle. You won't want to miss it. The amazing World Cup-inspired murals popping up all around the Emerald City. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to See the World, Road to the FIFA World Cup 2026. We sat down with former Sounder, U.S. national team player, and now FIFA Seattle brand ambassador Brad Evans to chat more about this prestigious tournament right here in our backyard. Let's get right into it. So now that the Club World Cup is over, we're setting the stage for World Cup 2026. What do you think fans felt about how Seattle presented right here in the Emerald City?
Oh, I thought it was amazing. I was at every single game, and I was a fan, right? Because we don't have any radio for these games. I had nothing to do except be a fan of soccer. And so I've been involved in, playing Chelsea, Manchester United, Barcelona here, but those were friendlies. And so to see the team compete in a game that actually mattered, it was a different feeling in the stadium when you get to go and watch these games for the Club World Cup.
It's hard to believe that it's here, it's coming. Open it up for the fans. You talked about what it meant for the players. What do you think it meant for the fans around here? I mean, there was an extreme just excitement around the downtown. The waterfront is beautiful, and from everywhere, just showing off what we can offer to the world.
Yeah, look, I think you nailed it. It's our city. It's highlighting our city. I mean, the weather couldn't have been more perfect. Yeah. Like you said, the new waterfront is amazing. Everything has become so much more accessible, and for the average fan to come out, that's what you want. You want walkability, you want some culture, and you want to feel what it's like to be a Sounders fan. So, I mean, we're going to have, 700, 800,000 people come through for these 6 World Cup games here in Seattle, and the U.S. will play in one of those as well, which is is going to be, I mean, the stadium is going to be completely sold out. It's going to be crazy. So I'm really excited for our fans to be able to see in a national team game, not just a national team game, but a World Cup game, is something that probably will never happen in our lifetime again. We're going to have to travel around the world to watch all these games, but we're going to get to see it here in Seattle, and you're going to see some amazing competition. It's going to be a spectacle, but knowing Seattle and how well the Club World Cup went, it's going to be that to the nth degree, and I'm just so excited.
Yeah, and I'm really impressed with how our city's kind of kicked it into gear. It reminds me of the World's Fair. We haven't had something this big, and this could be one of the biggest things that we have in a long time, and I think people are going to make connections. You're going to find some people who've never watched you play soccer even know who you are, and say, hey, tell me more about this because I love this game.
Yeah, I think I reflect on 1994, right? That was when the World Cup was last here in the U.S., and I was only 9 years old. I didn't watch soccer by any means, but I remember my uncle brought me back a commemorative coin from that 1994 World Cup when it was in the Bay Area, and I still have that coin. And that kind of, I like to think that was the spur that kind of got me in motion to really loving soccer. And so it's all about these little pivotal moments. Yes, it's about the product on the field, it's about the fans, but it's also about the youngsters, and that's what you want. You want to have these huge competitions, like you said, like the World's Fair, right? Really was able to highlight the city of Seattle, Space Needle, and people remember that forever. They get the coin, they get whatever it is, the commemorative something. And so for the World Cup, it's the same thing. You want the youngsters to come in, and you want to develop those kids and the passion for soccer, and then in 20 years for them to remember, oh, I remember that moment. It was here in Seattle. That's where it clicked for me. And I think that's the job of the local organizing committee. That's the job as for myself as an ambassador, and for the city of Seattle to highlight. And it's about the youth at the end of the day.
Brad Evans, thank you so much for being involved with us
Thanks
today.
for having me.
If you want to hear more from Brad, you can catch him weekly on the Sounders FC podcast and on the Sounders radio game broadcast. Now, speaking of the Rave Green, the team normally plays on artificial turf at Lumen Field, but for the World Cup, it will be converted to grass per FIFA regulations. Check out this time lapse from crews replacing the turf with natural grass, a requirement from FIFA. During the 2026 tournament, Lumen Field will be temporarily rebranded as Seattle Stadium to comply with FIFA's sponsorship rules. FIFA also requires teams to practice at high-quality approved grass fields, and stepping up, UW and Seattle U. Both schools recently received mandatory improvements to stay in line with FIFA. The cost is steep, but between the two schools, the state awarded $1.7 million to help.
It's, you know, once in a lifetime opportunity to have it in your city as well, and for Seattle to host games, and so it just the atmosphere around it, and the globalization of it as well. I mean, there will be people here from all over the world, and being able to see Seattle.
Not only will World Cup players enjoy these field improvements, so will the fans as they watch the World's game with new backs to stadium seats. And by the way, the grass at Lumen Field is temporary. Artificial turf will be reinstalled after the World Cup wraps up. If you're thinking about buying a ticket to one of the World Cup matches right here in Seattle, get ready to shell out some big bucks. Tickets are sold in phases through FIFA, and prices range from $185 on the low end to more than $600 for top matches. And hey, if you decide tickets are too much, we have plenty of options around the region to take in a game with some of your closest friends at one of the many watch parties happening around the area. So we sat down with the mayor of Redmond, who says she's excited to get her community ready for the festivities on the east side. How excited are you for this to come not only to Seattle, but to be able to kind of branch out in Redmond and do your own thing?
Well, we are so excited to be a part of this. World Cup is, you know, a world phenomena where billions of people from around in every nation watch what's happening, and we're just so excited that Redmond can have a small part of this since so many games are going to be in Seattle.
And so what are people and what are you doing in the community to make it kind of one of those pop-up exciting places? I mean, going to a bar and connecting with people, it's all about communication and connection with people in this World's game.
Absolutely. So we're making investments in our community. We're bringing our businesses in and our community members in to ensure that they know what's happening and are prepared for the number of people that will come and visit our community in order to see the games, not just in person, but on TV as well. And we just want to make sure everyone's ready and everyone has the same excitement that I have and our city has on what's going to be happening in our region.
And I can imagine that in an area like Redmond, local businesses are pumped to be getting maybe an extra dose of foot traffic.
Every business has the opportunity to engage with just local people that are going to be coming out, as well as international travelers and national travelers coming. We want to make sure that they can have all of the things that they need to make an exciting experience for anyone who just happens to be walking past a bar or a shop or a bakery, and then having opportunities for exciting activities out in the community as well.
And we have to talk about the potential in 2026 in spring of the Link Light Rail opening across Lake Washington and in the Redmond station there. Yeah. How great is the timing of that, especially if people come visit Redmond and say, hey, I want to train into the city, get that beautiful view.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are, anticipating the opening, hopefully, sometime early next year. You can take a train right from downtown Redmond. You're the first stop, so you'll absolutely get a spot on the train as it makes its way down to Lumen Field for the games. And so we are just promoting that as being on the front end of a train ride to the games.
Angela Bernie, thank you so much for being with us today and sharing what's going on in Redmond.
Well, thank you so much for having us.
All right. It's not just a beautiful game that's being played here. Seattle's landscape is being improved with a series of World Cup inspired murals. And a little later, we introduce you to a new game rooted in soccer, croquet, and golf. Stay tuned for Scrolf. Welcome back, everyone. No doubt Seattle is known for its favorable soccer culture around the city, but today we want to take it one step further. A look at some of the featured mural art surrounding this magnificent event. The World's Game descending on Seattle, June of 2026. It's right around the corner. Thousands upon thousands of fans will introduce themselves to the Emerald City for the first time. And those fans not only sure to see some masterful football, but some magical murals as well.
This mural is kind of like the energy of the city, these different movements, a nod to like the nature and acknowledging that value of the city all wrapped into one.
Meet artist Leo Shalit, a Seattle native whose dream of showcasing his artistic talent came true when he got the call to help beautify Seattle ahead of the World Cup.
It has these weaving calligraphic elements going over and under the wave, tying together different cultures and pieces of the city that I love, all in a very like abstract, gestural way. It was an arduous process, and when you're up close trying to follow a line, it looks very different than when you get off the lift and step back. So it made me feel like I can paint anything on any size wall now. People that live down here, people that can see it from their bedroom, people that work in buildings around here, and everyone was so nice and so excited and said it just brought this burst of color and life into, onto a wall that was very blank and plain.
And with all the excitement around the tourney, we just had to ask Leo what World Cup team is his favorite.
I am very Italian. That is where my roots lie. I am locked into the World Cup. I'm probably going to watch as many games as possible, just have it on in my studio. I can't wait to go to some games in person. Everyone's going to have a good time. That's it.
Just stunning. Leo created that mural in just 13 days, and he says it was a marathon, working 12 to 13 hours a day. And check out this second mural, Tilted United by Nature, towering 17 stories above Western Avenue downtown. The bigger-than-life work was created by internationally renowned street artist Eno. This piece celebrates Seattle's commitment to human rights and its legacy of justice, civic courage, and solidarity. Eno had help bringing this mural to life, though, from two locally based artists, Yoon-Mi Cho and Alexander Cervantes. Make sure to check them out when you're walking around the streets of downtown Seattle. Still to come on See the World Road to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Sports enthusiasts, hey, listen up. There's a whole new game in town. We're talking Scrolf after the break. Welcome back to the show, everyone. Are you ready to take on something new? We have you covered. There's a new game in town, and if you like golf, maybe croquet, and of course soccer, this is just the sport for you. Scrolf, invented by former local SPO soccer star goalie Sergio Soriano of Marysville. So, as you can imagine, this piqued our interest, so the Good Day Seattle crew, along with FIFA Seattle ambassador and soccer legend Cliff McGrath, decided to team up and check it out.
What's it like to play?
Nice.
Oh. It's deceptively difficult.
It looks like it should be easy, and then it's really not.
Well, I tried describing this to my family, and they said, what?
Scrolf, in the name itself, is soccer, croquet ball, hardball, and golf. And boom! Nice. That's a birdie, Scrolfy.
I think it's basically just one of those addictive things. It's going to be halftime at soccer games. It could be halftime at the Super Bowl. It involves people.
So you play just like golf.
Imagine this, an old soccer game.
So you got to like set up a tee box and all that kind of stuff. Just don't kick the ball because the ball's so hard. And you try to hit the post, voila. And you try to get it in as few shots as you can to hit the post. You got to like make it look a little pretty too, right? And in this case, it'll be like a mini Scrolf game. If I'm a PE teacher of 38 years, 40 years.
Yeah.
So I believe in movement and activity. There you go. That's it. Be outside, get coordinated with their feet. Nice, Walker. And enjoy a game, a different game. A game that you could be close to each other.
Come on back around.
A game that doesn't take that much strain on your body.
And lift.
There you go.
Too much.
Yeah.
My daughter is picking it up too. She's got a little injury right now, but she could come back and definitely take part in this game because it would be good for rehab.
It's more like a flicking or a flipping of a ball.